How many of you have ever felt as if you have been set back? You know how they set the clocks back? How many of you have ever felt set back? Maybe recently, last few weeks, last few months. Well, I felt that way also. But you know what happens after a setback? We're going to talk about it. This is going to be good. Don't you go nowhere.
You can do it. Don't stop. Ed Montgomery. Come on. A new way of thinking. Transform your mind. Straight from the vine. Fresh new wine.
Hello, I'm Ed Montgomery. Welcome to Fresh New Wine. I am the host of Sensational Sundays on Sunday mornings from 11 a.m. to 12 noon Central Standard Time, right here on our Ed Montgomery channel. And also here your host on Fresh New Wine, Dr. Ed Montgomery, aka Ed Montgomery, that's my name. And thank you so much for joining us, for being with us, and to say all of you who are my inside circle of friends. I mean, you know, those of you who are my circle of friends, that inner circle that keeps everything going. And also to the great big family. Thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing. Look, I've been sitting down talking to some of my friends and also just people in general. I also do a radio show on Mondays on 90.9 FM in the city of Houston, and you can also on KTSU, and you can find it on ktsu.com. You can find that, which is the radio station for Texas Southern University. You can find that. And I'm on every Monday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's a secular show, so it's not church things or anything that I'm talking about. But also there are some spiritual situations that we get into. And what I hear a lot of times are people who are dealing with tough issues in life. They have dealt with setbacks. They thought they were moving ahead, and all of a sudden they got set back. So if you think this is something you want to listen to here, hit that like button. Let those algorithms spread out there so that there will be more and more people who will join us from our subscribers and the people who are in our great big family. So hit that like button now. Hit it now. Let me know you're out there, because that totally makes a difference. Come on. We can do this. We can do this. I'd hear people always talk about hit the like button, and I said, why don't you just move on? I'm talking about hit the like. I know now why they want you to hit that like button, because for every one like, it opens up 2 or 3 people who are going to get into that algorithm for that bandwidth, and they're able to reach more people. Okay, so you can do that. Share this with some friends, because when you share this, those people that you share it with other people. And also make comments. If every now and then, if you hear something that sounds good, say yes, exclamation point, or just put a little smiley thing in there, or just let me know that you're there and hey, I get it, I hear you. Now, years ago, I was an amateur commodities trader, and not a professional trader for other people, but I used to trade just as a hobby kind of thing, and took a few courses in it. And one of the things that they teach you, and that is that the market is going to go up and down. If you're looking for the market to go straight up and just keep going up, they said be careful of that, because sooner or later that thing is going to drop. When the market is just going straight up, don't watch it and be careful. Don't even try to invest a whole bunch of money when the market is going straight up. Now, I'm not going to give you any market tips or anything like that, because that's not what I do. Okay? That's not who I am. I don't do that. So don't listen to my market, you know, tips. So I won't give you any. Don't you take any. But one of the things they teach, and that is with the market, you see how those spikes, it'll go up and it'll go down. It'll go up, then it'll go down. Then it'll go up and down, and maybe it'll go up, 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 down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down. It'll do things like that. And one of the things they tell you is don't just look at it daily or look at it every hour upon hour. It will drive you absolutely insane. But sometimes when you have to look at a stock, you look at a commodity, you have to look at it over a week, maybe look at it over a month period of time, look at it over a 3-month period of time. And what you'll notice when you straighten that graph out from just a week graph to maybe, in other words, a week-long graph to maybe, let's try a 3-month graph. What you'll notice is that it's going up, but it's going up very slowly. Even though it's going up, down, it's like going up, down, halfway, then up, a little bit over the peak, down, and up, down. But even though it's going up, down, it's going up steadily. Now, one of the things that they teach you, and that is that every single stock or commodity has a foundation. In other words, has some kind of foundational strength. All right, let me stop talking about stocks and let's talk about our lives. Let's talk about our kingdom business, because that's what it's about with me. I'm not either Democrat or Republican, and believe me, they are doing some crazy things out here. I had to turn the news off, and of course, I'm always talking to you. And so that means I got to keep the news on at least enough to be able to express myself. But I had to turn it off because it was making my hands do like this. It will drive you just, I don't want to say crazy, but it's pretty close to it. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hit that comment button if you know I know what you're talking about. And I had to come off of it as if I was coming off of red Kool-Aid that I got addicted to. And I got off and a few hours, and I said, well, let me go see what's going on. I said, no, I don't want to see. And then I'd wait, and I'd finally get to the end of the day, go to sleep. Okay. I try to stay off it the next day, or maybe just go on just to get a few little headlines to make sure that we didn't have anything that crash. And see how that thing just binged? See, it was probably one of those news headlines that came through. I'm not looking at it. No, I'm not looking at it. And what I learned is, after about 2 days, I started calming down. My blood pressure started steadying out. I started talking to people with not so much rapidity, but just talking calmly and talking about things other than the news. And I realized something. Do you know what these people are doing? They are constantly keeping you with something, some emergency, some problem, some crazy thing that they're doing, executive decision, or some bill they're going to try to pass every single day, one on top of the other. Bam, 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 to where you get so confused. And one, you think you're dealing with one, it goes to another, it goes to another. One of the things that I really believe that they're trying to do is get you, throw 50 of these things at you when they really only want about 4 or 5 of them to get through. But if they can get 50 to you, they can get you desensitized to these things. and they can pass anything they want to. That's why you got to be careful. That's why you got to watch. Stay tuned to Fresh New Wine, because I'm going to find those things. Believe me, I may not watch it for a couple of days, but listen, after a couple of days are over, I'm going to get into that thing to find out. Now, here's what the deal is. When you see these commodities or when you see these stocks, they have something that is called a foundation, which means this is the true strength of that company or that particular commodity. It may go up and down. It may even take sharp drops. It may even take sharp going up, and you say, oh boy, this is going to be forever. Listen, nothing is forever. Always remember, nobody stays at the top of anything forever. Nobody stays number one. But when that thing drops, what it does, it usually will drop, but not completely to its below its foundational strength. Here's what I mean by that. Pick an arbitrary number, 50. Say it goes up to 30, then 40, and drop down to 35, then goes up to 48, and then takes a drop down to, wow, takes a big drop. But it may never go down. It goes down to 11, but it never goes past 10. Why? Because 10 becomes that foundational strength. In other words, it's always going to hold it up. Now, it may go down below it a little bit, but if it's got any kind of strength, if it's a good company, if it's got good people, or in technology, it stays. If it's good technology, it won't go so far below that foundation. Here's where it comes to in our lives. Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I saw. I'm not just being an orator now. I'm being an oracle. I'm going to speak to you concerning our lives. Every single one of us has a foundation of understanding. This is what faith is. Faith is a foundation of learning. There's a scripture that says there is no greater foundation. There is no foundation that can be laid better or other than the foundation of Jesus Christ or the teaching of Christ himself. That's the foundation. The foundation is realizing all things are possible. Teaching. Foundation is realizing that Jesus says, my words are spirit and they are life. Words are spirit. Foundation is remembering, like John chapter 1, verse 1, in the beginning was the word, or the intent of God. And God is in the word, and the word is God. The word was God. John chapter 1, verse 14, and the word became flesh and dwelt among us. In other words, we can take something spiritual like the word and see it. Here is the word. And these are teachings. No matter what happens in life, this is our foundation. They meant it for evil, but God will use it for good. In other words, no matter how bad it gets, no matter how many ups and downs, when it plunges, it's going to hit that foundation. Bam! It's not going to go down to zero. It's going to hit the foundation, which is above zero. The foundation of your teaching. That is why it's so important. Number one, to strengthen the foundation of your teaching. That's where we are right now. I suggest to you to begin to read books on history. I'm reading American history. Yeah, find some good books on American history. Read books on Christianity. Now, that'll blow your mind. It'll take you from being a Christian anymore if you start reading that. Read books on Christianity. That'll get you. Read some African history. Read some history about what happened during the time of when we were human trafficked from Africa all the way over, and the majority of the people were taken into South America, and then America got only about 4% of those who were human trafficked. See, we were not slaves; we were enslaved. See, that's a difference. Like Ephesians chapter 6 says, "Slaves, obey your masters." I don't even read that passage. because it doesn't mean anything to me, because I don't see myself as a slave. We were enslaved. People of my background were enslaved. So when they say slaves obey your masters, people say, well, it used to be that part, the Bible is racist, and the Bible is, I don't care what the Bible is. First of all, I'm not a slave, nor do I see my people as slaves. They were enslaved. They were human trafficked. So these are foundations of teaching that you know, that you understand. When you have a good foundation of teaching, sometimes you will have a life setback, get a broken heart. Things may hurt you. A relationship may go bad. Just when you thought you were going forward with somebody, you wind up with somebody who is saying, well, I want my space and I don't want to deal with you. And, right now is not a good time for me. I need to be in my own place in life. Maybe you were planning on building a business and you got to take the test for the building, and you failed the test. The test did not go through. Maybe you got your feelings hurt. Maybe you invested in somebody's life, invested in somebody, and they didn't return to you what you put in. And you wind up with some tears. You wind up with a little depression. You wind up in a setback. Bam. That stock just went bam. But then guess what happened? I'm going to tell you how that next step. But let me say this before I finish this up. Thank you so much for your contributions. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for the warmth of your heart. Your heart is like pouring warm oil whenever you give. Every donation is warm oil. It's like just taking something and pouring it upon us, and we can feel your spirit. We can feel what you do. And it enables us to keep teaching and enlightening other people. Listen, this is the age of enlightening other people. You say, well, what can we do? What can we do? Do we protest? Do we go? What do we do? We get out in March. What do we do? The first thing we have to do is enlighten ourselves, to go back into our history, to learn more. We keep talking about this, and we say it over and over and over, just like they say things over and over again to try to make you believe what their agenda is. You got to say it over and over again. So this is the platform for us to do that. And you can do that by using your text to give. You can 713-742-2035. That's 713-742-2035. Or you can go to myalc.org. That's myalc.org. These are giving platforms that are absolutely fantastic. And they're safe, and we've been doing them for years and decades. And it makes a difference when you do these kind of things. Take a moment. Do it now. Don't wait. Pour that warm oil, okay? Now, let me get back to me and you. Here's what I've learned, that with every setback, what do they tell you in these markets? They said, well, all the market is doing is resetting itself. When you have a good foundation, no matter how big of a setback you have, your life will automatically, watch this, reset from that foundation. You say, but look at what I've lost. Yeah, but look at what you don't lose when you got a solid foundation. Work on your reading. Work on your, find someone who's a good mentor, a good teacher for you. Find someone who's not just an oracle who can keep talking. An orator who can keep talking, but an oracle who can speak things concerning the future and listen. In other words, they see things coming. Do you see better days coming? I don't see better days coming, but I can see your opposition flip-flopping like a fish. They're losing their strength. What you have to do is keep building your foundation of your wisdom, your knowledge, and your understanding. That way, I promise you, when it hits that bam setback, you will reset and restart, and your stock will begin to go up again, up and down, up and down, up and down. But according to your foundation, Jesus said it like this: according to your faith level, be it unto you. Listen, this thing is going to work for you. Oh yeah, take the test again. Take the test again. This time, you're going to do good. If you got to resave some money, go ahead and resave it. It's all right. Start saving again. Put more away again. It's all right. When the time comes, the right time is going to come, and you're going to have the right money at the right time, at the right moment, and you're going to do the right thing, and you're going to get the right results. Oh, I got to go because I'm going to get happy over here. That's what they used to say years ago. I'm going to get happy. Fine. The word this year is bold. I talk to people and they say, you know what, Dr. Ed, I meet a lot of people who say, I'm an educated person, but they talk to me and tell me, you keep flaunting your education, keep using all those big words. Or a person may say they don't like the way I talk, or they don't like the way I look, or they don't like the way I dress. Or, just a lot of things that people will tell other people what they don't like about them. But you know what I'm going to say to you? Sometimes you got to get to a place in your life that you got to get bold about who you are. Now, that doesn't mean you don't make changes. Hey, check an image consultant out. Hey, go online, see what the latest fashions are. Leaf through a magazine. Check some things out. Learn how to talk about things. Take some voice lessons. Do whatever you want to. Make some changes this year. But once you make those changes, let it be you that makes those changes. And once you're satisfied with you, then be the most extraordinary you can ever be. That's what I'm teaching on all this year, is talking about the extraordinary I, the power of that true I of who you are. So take a moment and emphasize it, because giving makes a difference. When you connect your giving with who you are, it reinforces the power of who you are. That's right. It's not just saying, oh, I'm a nice person. You got to give something. When you give something away, whether it's a smile, whether it's a conversation, whether it's a pat on the back, it reinforces it. I want you to take a moment, make a contribution to what we're doing. I don't know what the amount is that's in your mind, but choose one. Might be $8, might be $10, whatever it is. Do it now. You can do it on your text to give, 713-742-2035. But whatever you do it now, right now. We would be so eternally grateful, and it would make me happy. Thank you so much. I appreciate exactly everything that you're doing. Be bold. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button, smash it, crash it. Let us know you're there.